Welcome to another episode of the Astronomy Name. I'm Luke.
Sorry, I was drinking my coffee. I'm Dustin.
Today we have Nick on the podcast, and he talks about some of his paranormal encounters. He talks about hearing his mom's voice when she wasn't home, and he talks about seeing moving paintings, which I think is crazy. Because when I think of moving paintings, I think Harry Potter when they're in the
Yeah,
stairwell. And
right.
that's the type of stuff he was talking about was happening. If you ever seen the Harry Potter movies, that's exactly what was happening, but they weren't talking.
I wonder. It's been a while since we recorded this one,
Hmm.
and we had some issues. Mainly my fault. So Luke is actually there, but you might not hear his audio because it didn't get recorded. But you might pick him up in the background of somebody else's audio every now and again. um, but I wonder if he ever found that painting.
Yeah, I'll have to try to reach back out to him and see if he ever found it.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I want a Harry Potter moving painting in my living room.
Right?
That'd be sick. If anybody out there's got a moving painting they're trying to get rid of, hit me up.
PA Myth and Legends Festival is coming up this weekend,
Oh
May
yeah, I'm excited for
25th,
that. I'm really excited for that.
up in Somerset, PA. If anyone wants to come see us, we'll be there. Set up recording podcasts and scheduling people for the future. We might have some merch to sell.
Possibly.
That would be in Somerset, PA. The link in the will be in the description below.
That's a free
And
event, right?
yes, there is a free event. And PA Bigfoot Camping Adventure,
September
September
6th.
6th and 7th, will be at Farmington, PA, which this is not a free event. This is $50 for a weekend. And if you don't want to go both days, you can get tickets for either Friday or Saturday. They are cheaper. And we'll also be the set up recording podcasts and scheduling people for the future as well. And that one, I think we will have some merch there.
Yeah, yeah. We didn't have a whole lot of time to plan for the May 25th one. That one kind of was a surprise. We
Hmm.
wasn't expecting to go to it, but thanks to our good buddy Daniel Benoit, he made it happen. So
And go check out our website, exploringtheunknownpod.com. We have all our episodes and on there as well. We have a blog, and you can find all our socials on that website as well.
yep, and it
Is
gets
there
updated every week.
anything else you want to add to the website?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think so. To the website?
Yeah, that you want to mention on the website about the website.
No, I don't think so.
Um, our affiliate links, this GhostStop and Amazon. If you go purchase something through that any of those links, it'll help support the show. And the links will be down in the description below as well. And if you're gonna feel comfortable buying something off of a website or Amazon, if you want to support us, get a Cash App or PayPal and send us a donation from there.
Yeah, and if you write in the text box that's provided a would you rather question, Luke and I will explore that in a future episode.
Yeah, I can't wait till someone does that. I'm excited to see if someone actually will do that.
Yeah, that would be wild. That would be wild. I feel like our viewers could come up with a better would you rather than
But
ChatGPT.
yeah, right. And
Yeah.
some other exciting news, our Facebook page hit 1.5K followers.
Yeah. That's so cool, dude. Like I don't know. I've been watching it for the last couple of weeks and
Hmm.
seeing like how many followers we're gaining in just the week's time. It blows my mind.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. That one big reel or one short has like 99.5K views.
Holy crap! It went up. It's almost to 100K. That's wild.
Which that's exciting for us because we were never expecting it to hit that much views in the
Right.
time we did.
Right. But thank you, everybody that's listening, that is supporting the podcast. And if you haven't yet, make sure that you go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way that you can get updated on everything that we're posting.
Yeah, YouTube, we want to try to get more people onto YouTube to help us get monetized by YouTube. And so they can help support the show as well.
Right. Absolutely. And also, if you've had an encounter and would like to come on the show, please reach out to us on our contact page on our website, and we'll get back to you and try to get you on a future episode.
Yeah, you hop into this episode?
Let's go. How you
Hey, how
doing?
y'all doing?
Pretty good. Pretty
Good.
good.
How are you?
Good, good. Uh,
Yeah. So yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
well, I'm from Oklahoma. I've lived here most of my life. I'm 30 years old, and seen a lot of weird things in my life. Experienced a lot of weird things in my life. A few months ago, I started sharing some of my stories on Reddit, and apparently people like them because getting requests to come on podcasts and narrators on YouTube want to talk about them.
That's awesome.
That's
But
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. So what kind of experiences have you had?
Oh, various things. I didn't know if you wanted to talk specifically about the one I shared on Reddit, but I do have a lot of stories. Let's see, which one was the one on Reddit that drew your attention? Was it
I
the?
think it was the one when you heard your mom's voice.
Yeah, yeah. So I was playing the original Paper Mario on 64 after school, and I was just playing casually, and I heard my mother from downstairs call out, "Hey, could you hey, are you up there or something?" Or basically just called my name to get my attention. And I paused the game, called back, "Yeah." She said, "Can you come down to the office? Because so you can help me with something." I figured my mother's a little short and I'm a bit tall. I figured she wanted me to reach something for her. So I go downstairs to the office, and she's not in the office. So I'm like, maybe she went to the bathroom or something. So I knock the door of the bathroom. No one's in the bathroom. I go to her room. She's not in her room. My dad's in the living room reading the newspaper. I'm like, "Hey, do you know where mom is?" And he says she's not home yet. I'm like, "Are you sure about that?" And it's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's not home yet." I go to the garage. Sure enough, her car's not there. So I just kind of stood there for a while, just kind of processing that. And my dad's like, "Is everything okay?" I don't really know what to say, so I'm like, "Well, I thought I heard her tell me to come downstairs." He's like, "Well, she's not home, so I don't know what to tell you," and that's about all we ever talked about. It's about all the discussion we had on that.
That's wild.
But what's really interesting is someone commented that there's actually a creature from, I think, Scandinavian folklore that has these qualities. I'm trying to remember its name.
Skinwalker.
Not a skinwalker. It's a, I think if I'm remembering correctly, it's like a Verdogen. I think they call it something like that. It's it's supposed to be some sort of, like, it's debated on whether or not it's intelligent or not, or if it's just some sort of phenomenon where when it manifests, you hear the sounds of someone being present who is not present yet, but they will be. Like, when someone mentioned it, I actually researched it, and I, there's a bunch of stories of people talking about supposed encounters with a Verdogan where they'll be at home and they'll hear their partner or their parent or their child get home. They'll hear the door open and shut. They'll hear them walking around doing their normal routine, and then it stops, and then they actually show up like half an hour later. It's a, it's almost like what's the word? A something that goes before. It's almost like mimicking something that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
It's pretty mysterious, and I don't know. I got a bird in the background going crazy, so sorry if that comes through.
No, you're good. I can't hear it at all.
All right, good.
Yeah, a Verdogan. I've never heard of that before.
I may be saying it wrong, but yeah, basically it's the idea that it's a harbinger spirit. It goes before something and announce it. It's seen to like be announcing its presence. That announcing the presence of something that is on its way, but it has not arrived.
That is interesting. Have you had any other paranormal activity in the house?
Well, that was my childhood home. Um, I had some weird experiences in that home. There's only I did have a weird sleep paralysis incident, but I don't really attribute sleep paralysis to paranormal. At least not most of them.
Mm-hmm.
But there was one incident. It was actually, I want to say, 2 years afterwards. I was just about to graduate high school, where I was home alone, and I was upstairs in our reading room reading a book, and the doors to this room, they're not like traditional like latch locking doors. They're more like just swing open doors. Nothing really holds them in place. So I was reading a book, and the door to the room very slowly opened, and I saw what looked like a humanoid, uh, not an actual person, nothing physical. I saw a shadow of something standing in the doorway, and after staring at it for a few seconds, it was really trippy. It was literally like the shadow of someone there who's not there.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at the shadow on the wall, and the shadow turned and walked down the hallway, almost as if, "Oh, you're in here. Sorry about that," and like walks away.
Oh wow.
um, but yeah, that's the only other what I would consider to be a paranormal experience in that house.
Mm-hmm.
I had a weird sleep paralysis incident where one night I was trying very hard to get to sleep, was not succeeding, so I put on some soft music and just tried to lay down and relax.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment my head hit the pillow and my eyes shut, suddenly I could not move, and I heard the loudest clap of thunder in my entire life, along with a woman screaming bloody murder.
Oh wow.
And after a few seconds I could move again, and I jump up and run to my sister's room. She slept on the same floor as me, because I thought it was her, but now she's sound asleep. I go to my parents' room. My mother's sound asleep, and there's no clouds in the sky, so the thunder didn't come from that. I don't know what that was. If I had some sort of out of the blue seizure, even though I've never had seizures before, or what. But yeah, that was freaky.
Had anybody else in the house witness anything?
You know, it's not something my family really discussed, although a few of my family have implied that they've seen things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my brother, my brother told me one time he saw someone he was at the top of the stairs, and he, out of the corner of his eye, saw someone walking up the stairs, and they never reached the top of the stairs. They just suddenly were not there. Um, my sister told me that she would get knocks on her door a lot during the night, like someone wanting to come in.
Mm.
Uh, my other my other sibling, he never told me anything. I never really talked with my parents about it. That my parents, they have their own stories, I'm not sure if any of them took place in that house, but their attitude towards the paranormal is sort of a oh shake it off, not that big a deal. Uh, but yeah, most of my family have some stories.
Yeah. Now, do you know
Oh,
that?
drop something.
No, you're good. Now, do you know if the house maybe had any history or anything like that?
Well, that's the thing, is because our house was new. We were the first family to live in it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, though I will say it was a like the only thing I could think of in terms of history that may have influenced what went on in the house is it was built about 300 yards from a very very old cemetery. It's one of those cemeteries that's so old it has no it hasn't had a new burial in it in a century.
Mm.
So, and a lot of the headstones there over the years have sadly been vandalized. They've gone missing. I've watched them disappear throughout my life.
Oh wow.
So every once in a while they go in there with like a ground penetrating radar, and like whenever they find a body with no headstone, they'll just stick a cross in the ground just so people know, hey, someone's buried right here.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they don't know who they are. So I don't know if anything's left behind there. Who's kind of mad they've been forgotten, or what. But
Very possible.
that's really my only theory on that.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a couple of cemeteries around here that are like that, but they don't. I don't know that they go through and use a radar or anything.
I think it's because the cemetery is in kind of an awkward position. It's at the corner of this huge tract of land that they're developing,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not sure how far the cemetery like expands into this tract of land. So they go through there every now and then trying to find bodies to make sure they're not burying over on top of anybody.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
I think they found the extent of the cemetery because they fenced off that corner. I guess with a few years ago.
Mm.
I guess they think that's the extent of the cemetery because I haven't seen them looking for anyone else in a while.
Mm. Hmm. Since
Now, have you had any experiences in your new house?
In my new house, it's funny you should
Yeah.
say that. Yes, plenty. Um, I actually had one a few days ago. It's actually kind of freaky you'd ask. So the new house I'm living in, um, moved to a new town, same state, same metro really. Moved into this new place, and I kind of got some weird vibes when I bought the house because the people I bought the house from, I lowballed the heck out of them, expecting kind of a price battle because I wanted to get the price down. So I lowballed the heck out of them by like 20 grand, and they immediately accepted that offer. they
So they wanted to get rid of it.
yeah they not only that, they immediately accepted the offer, and they said, and we'll install a new AC system, and then they were gone.
oh wow. Do you think maybe they knew something?
So, but yeah, I don't know. Can't get any confirmation on that. All I know is they were very eager to get to move.
Mm.
Um, Now that I would say, what should I start with? I don't know if there's more than one entity in this house because sometimes it's very benign and sometimes it's really aggressive. Um, though it hasn't been aggressive in a while, thankfully. So you get the typical stuff of things not being where you put them, or weird noises. I get footsteps sometimes. Probably probably the freakiest thing that happened to me. This was about a year and a half ago. I was just turning in for bed. I had turned off all the lights and walked into my bedroom, and I just shut my bedroom door. And my bedroom door faces a hallway that leads to another bedroom. My house is a much longer than it is wide. So as soon as I shut the door, I hear and feel someone run up the hallway and like put their weight against the door as if like someone's trying to bust open the door.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
And as soon as the weight hits the door and the door almost opens, I reflexively slam my body weight against the door to keep it closed because I think someone's in my house. I think someone's broken into my house and they're trying to get to me.
Yeah.
So as I'm leaning on my door to keep it shut, I'm with my foot, slipping my foot under my bed and pulling out my shotgun that I keep under my bed because I think I got to defend myself.
Yeah.
I get the
Yeah.
I get the gun. I rack the gun and throw open the door, aiming it into the hallway, and there's no one in the hallway. I very slowly patrol around my house. There's no one in my house. I'm by myself. So yeah, that that uh that kept me awake for a while.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Autopilot you like, oh.
That would be scary.
Now you live by yourself, right?
I lived by myself at the time. I have a roommate now,
Mm.
um,
Have they
and
experienced?
something actually happened.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, they have had their own experiences. Um, we actually had a weird experience a couple days ago where so just to explain, like like I said, my house is long, and in the living room's in the center of the house. So and in the living room, I have my couch, my TV, and I'm sitting on my couch, and off to my left, around the corner, is where the kitchen is, and just and across from me is the dining room. Across from me and to the left a little bit from where the couch is the dining room table.
Hmm.
So I hear sounds in the kitchen that sound like someone's cooking. So I assume my roommate is in there cooking something for dinner. This was later at night. While I'm watching TV, and while I'm watching TV, I look to my left, and his jacket flies from around the corner into the kitchen onto the dining room table, and it startled me. So I'm like, "Geez, man, you scared the crap out of me." And he's like, "What?" He's like, "You threw your jacket onto the dining room table." He's like, "No, no, I didn't." Like, what do you mean you did it? I just saw it happen. He's like, "I didn't touch my jacket, man. I had already put it there." He's like, "What are you talking about? I just saw it fly across the room." Like, I think he's bullshitting me.
Y-
I think because he's that kind of guy. He plays pranks sometimes.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he keeps insisting up and down that no, that was not him. Like he was. We kind of have a mud room off of the kitchen. He said he was in there where like the washing machine is. He says he was in there. I think doing some laundry stuff. But this flew out of the kitchen and landed on the dining room table,
Wow.
almost as if someone was getting home from work and they were tired and just throwing shit everywhere. Sorry, I forgot.
No, you're good.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Yeah, don't
curse.
worry about it, man. Don't worry about it.
You're fine.
But yeah, he's still sticking with the story that wasn't him. So I'm not sure what to think about that because I definitely saw it fly across the room and land on the land on the dining room table.
Well, yeah, if it wasn't him, that's creepy to see.
Because he claims that he had already put his jacket on the table. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. But I know what I saw.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It wasn't like a out of the corner of my eye thing either. Like I dead stared at it fly across the room onto the table.
Yeah. That's like some poltergeist activity.
Yeah, it's weird. And most of my experiences, like most experiences I have are of that nature. Like they're sounds or objects. I haven't really. Well, there's been a couple times where I would say I saw something like an actual apparition. Not in that house though. Um, I don't know if you guys just want me to rattle off some stories.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. Whatever
definitely.
you got.
Okay. So another strange one involves my grandmother's house. So when I was I posted on this on Reddit too, I believe. Yeah, I did. When I was a little kid, like really young, like under 6, My grandmother had this painting in her living room that was of two women in yellow dresses at a piano, and one of them was playing the piano, and the other one was like pointing, holding the music, as if she's teaching her a song, how to play a song.
Mm-hmm.
And at nighttime, this painting would move. And when I say move, like Harry Potter style, like a moving picture of a looped scene. The woman playing the piano would start to actually hit the keys and tap her foot like the whole 9 yards. And the woman with the music would like bob her head and like or point at the music like, oh, you missed this, you should do better on this, or good job, you got that. That's like she's teaching a song.
Wow.
And it didn't have any sound. It didn't move in an intelligent way. It it was basically like a perfectly looped GIF of them acting out a scene, and it would only happen at night. And I saw the painting do this so often that, and I was so young, I didn't know any better. I saw the painting do this so much that I thought, well, some paintings move. I guess that's just a fact of reality. And I remember when I was a kid first reading Harry Potter, the fact my first indication that what I had witnessed was not normal was when in Harry Potter they describe moving pictures as being this mystical, fantastical thing, and to me, I'm like, is it? I've seen it happen, but no, apparently it's not normal.
That'd be terrifying.
Absolutely.
But many years later, this is a few years later. Spoke with my grandmother about it. I was over at her house, and we were. It was I think it was for Thanksgiving. It was kind of the after party of the Thanksgiving get together. Me and her were sitting down having some wine and just talking about life. And I mentioned that painting because I remembered the painting. I'm like, I haven't seen that painting in a while. Like, what'd you do with that? And she said that she had wrapped it in cloth and locked it away somewhere.
Oh.
And I said, when I was a little kid, I used to, th- I used to think I saw the painting move at night because at this point I'm still thinking, I imagined it because kids imagine things.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, why do you think I don't put it up anymore?
Oh.
So she saw it too.
Yeah, she told me she saw it too. In fact, she was very thankful that I told her that because she's apparently been suffering all these years thinking that she was just insane for seeing that painting move at night. And so, like, I quizzed her, like, you saw the painting move? She's like, yes. Like, you saw the lady at the piano actually playing the piano and the woman with the music, like, bobbing her head and pointing at the music. She says, yes, yes, yes. I saw all of that. I'm like, okay, then.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, as soon as she corroborated this story, I wanted to find the painting.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been trying to find the painting for a few years. It wasn't in her closet. My grandmother's a bit of an antique hoarder.
Mm-hmm.
She has so much old stuff. She has tons and tons of like storage units just filled to the rafters with antique objects.
Mm-hmm.
She has some really cool stuff. She has an old operator's circuit board in there. Um, Tons of old paintings. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to find the painting. She's getting a bit older now. She says her memory is not as good as it once was. She says she may have given it away and doesn't remember.
Mm.
Um, but I haven't checked all of her storage units, so maybe it's out there just waiting to be found. But I would love to find it because I think it's a one of a kind piece because I've never been able to find a copy of it or an image of it anywhere, and I've searched pretty hard for it.
Yeah.
So I think it was a one of a kind piece. I'm not sure where she got it. I wanna say it was an heirloom from her grandmother, but yeah, that's all I have on that.
That's really interesting.
Couldn't imagine seeing pictures moving.
I couldn't either, man. If you ever find
Yeah,
it, man.
and then like I said,
Let's say just you.
yeah, I've been trying to find it for a while. Like it would be really creepy if it just suddenly just doesn't exist anymore, and it's just not in this reality anymore. But what would really suck is if it does exist, I find it and it does move. However, the movement doesn't translate to recording devices. That would be annoying.
Well, if you ever find it, you have,
I got the recorder on it.
yeah, if you ever find it, man, we would love to have you back on to talk about it. That's amazing.
Yeah, no promises, but I've definitely been trying. We'll continue to try,
Hmm.
and until I go through all those storage units, I don't have a lot of free time, so
I
it kind of just
understand it.
happens when it happens.
Was there any other crazy experiences that you had?
Yeah. When I went to college, I lived in I was a frat boy in college, so I lived in this really old frat house for about 3 years, and that house had some interesting activity in it. Um, Everyone in the house has their own stories. I'm trying to think of a like I had a vintage liquor bottle collection on my shelf, and the bottles on the shelf would slide around a lot, like from side to side. That happened a lot. Get knocks on my door a lot. I'd say there are two experiences that are kind of the penultimate experiences I had in that house. Where one time I was just sitting in my room at my desk doing some homework, and my door handle kept turning, but the door not opening. So I got up from my desk and stood in front of my door and watched the handle turn halfway, a third of the way, halfway, a third of the way, over and over again. And then I just very quickly grabbed it and opened the door, and no one was on the other side of the door. So I locked my door from then on. um, I I would say probably the creepiest experience I had in that house. Um, so the frat house was L-shaped.
Hmm.
Um, it was 3 stories tall and L-shaped. I lived. My room was at the very end of the long part of the L on the third floor. So this was out. There was it was this one night after a party we had, and the party was kind of winding down, and I was going to my room to go to sleep, and we 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 turned the lights off after a certain time, so the lights were already off at this point, but there were like little night lights along the wall to help you find your way. And at the part of the house where the two wings of the L meet, there's a door that goes to the attic access. So I'm at the very end of the L in front of my room, and at the very long part of the L down where the two wings meet, in front of the attic door, there's this person standing there. And since the lights are off, I can't quite tell who it is. I don't recognize him. So I assume he's a party guest that's gotten lost. So I call out down the hallway like, hey man, were you here for the party? Like, are you lost? You need some directions?" And he didn't answer me. He just kind of stood there. And then I start walking towards him because we have a problem with break-ins sometimes. Sometimes people break in trying to mess with you. So I'm trying to confirm who this is, like if it's another member or if it's a guest. And as I start towards him, he very calmly turns around and walks through the attic door.
I'm not gonna lie, that one kind of gave me chills for some reason.
Uh, yeah. Um, but yeah. As for what's the source of the activity in the house is, unfortunately, a bit of a sad story, and a bit of a sensitive story. But there was a member who unfortunately passed away in a freak accident on the property several decades ago. Um, so the kind of theory among all the members was that it was him. Um, so there was actually this really interesting dynamic in the house where basically this entity's existence was fully acknowledged, but it was treated as if it was another member. so so whenever we'd have new members come in, we would creep them out by saying, "And remember, he's don't break any rules because he'll tell us, like he's watching."
So I take it the other
And
members of the house had
yeah, everyone in the
experiences
house had
too.
their own stories. Oh yeah, some a lot more vivid and interesting than mine. Um, I've had I've had other members tell me that they saw disembodied legs going up and down the staircase. Um, I've had people tell. There was this one brother who told me he had a full-on conversation with someone that wasn't there, and he didn't realize they weren't there until he tried to look around and find them. Um, like I may actually tell his story because his story is really interesting. He was on the third floor. This was back when the third floor was being renovated, and no one lived up there. But a lot of people stored their stuff up there. So he was up there going through his stuff, and he was working on this. He was trying to fix this radio he had, this kind of stereo, and he was up there with another member, and the other member decided to leave and go to bed. He decided to stay up and keep working on the radio, and the other member left and shut the door. And then my friend here, he tells me that he hears someone walk up behind him and say, "Hey man, what's going on?" And Heath just thinks it's another member that was stopping by. He's like, "Oh, nothing. I'm just trying to get this radio working." And the voice says, "Oh, you having any luck with it?" He, he's like, "Not so far, but I'm gonna keep working at it, see if I can get it working again. Because I got it for a good deal. I don't want it to break." He's like, "All right, well, good luck to you, man. I'll see you around." And then he doesn't hear him walk away, doesn't hear the door open and shut, turns around, the door's still shut, and yeah, he's by himself.
Oh wow.
So, but
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, those are pretty much the most interesting stories that I have personally. I do have stories from my family members and friends.
Mhm.
Um, a lot of people in my family have stories. I don't know if you want to hear secondhand stories or you just want to hear mine. But,
You can tell like
Yeah.
before you end this.
okay. Um, so in the '80s, I used to have a step grandpa. He unfortunately died in '89. Um, but after he passed away, many members of the family had very odd things happen around them or to them, or they witnessed very odd things. My father, uh, my step grandpa, his stepfather, um, really loved him. They were really close, so he was hit pretty hard whenever he died. Um, that that mimic story that I told,
Mhm.
where like I was hearing my mother as if she was there, and how I think it might be related to that Scandinavian harbinger creature that like mimics the actions and sounds of someone who is going to arrive but hasn't yet. He experienced that in reverse, where his stepfather, my step grandfather, he was dead, he was gone. My father tells me that for many months afterwards, he would hear his stepfather get up, go to the bathroom, wash up, um, cough, blow his nose, get dressed, fix food, get in his car, and drive away. Um, and he would even hear his car come back and hear him get out of the car around the time he would usually get home from work. And he would hear this every day for, he said, a good month and a half after he died. And he had always chalked it up to him just missing him so much that he's just hearing things his brain expects. But after reading about that harbinger creature, that entity, I'm thinking, okay, is there something that works in reverse where it makes the sounds of something that isn't going to arrive or has departed? But Also, a lot of the young cousins. There was a young cousin who was born a month after he died, but this young cousin kept claiming to know him. Like he would say, "Oh, Grandpa stopped by today," and he would call Grandpa by name, even though he'd never been told his step grandpa's name. Um, or he would claim he's up there on the balcony. I can see him. He's waving to us. Stuff like that. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much my gauntlet of stories.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Those really good stories. Really good encounters.
Cool. I didn't know if you guys had any questions or if that's it.
Now, the one with your grandpa, that the routine thing when his Dex I was goes to the bathroom, that reminds me of like a residual haunting, like something that used to happen or still gonna happen.
Yeah, that could be.
Hmm. Hmm.
Do you have any questions, Dustin?
No, I don't think so. I think I asked him when we were talking about him.
Well, all right then.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming on.
Happy to share my stuff. Yeah, if I think of any more stories, maybe I'll send them over.
Yeah,
But
absolutely,
I've
man. We really
shared all the ones
appreciate
I
it.
can think of right now. If anything else happens, maybe I'll share that.
There we go.
You're always welcome back on.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, hey, it was nice meeting you guys, and good luck with the podcast. Looks like you're all having fun.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And you have a go, man.
All right. You too. See you.
Bye.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Exploring the Unknown. We had a great time talking with Nick and hearing about all of his experiences with the paranormal. He had a lot. I think he's got something like following him or something.
Yeah, he does have a lot encounters with the paranormal.
Yeah. And don't forget, everybody, to go and like, subscribe, and share the video on our YouTube page. It would mean the world to us if you could do that. And don't forget to hit the bell notification icon. That way you get notified whenever we drop a new episode. September 6th and 7th, we have the PA Bigfoot camping adventure. If you guys would like to come hang out with us, talk about some weird events, any experiences that you guys had, Luke and I will be there in Farmington, PA, set up as vendors, recording podcasts and selling merch. $50 for Friday and Saturday, or you can purchase tickets for just Friday or Saturday. But I do believe tickets are limited. I'm not
Yep.
exactly sure what it was previously. It's probably less than what it was last time I checked, I'd imagine.
I think it's like in the 120s.
Yeah. Also, May 25th, that's coming up very soon. PA Myths and Legends. Luke and I are also going to be there recording podcasts. Stop on down, hang out with us. This is a free event, so it's free.
And
You can
that is in
find
Somerset, PA.
that is in Somerset, PA. You can find all that information on the events tab on our website, which is exploringtheunknownpod.com, where you can also find a blog section, and it gets updated every week. So make sure you guys go and check that out. If you guys want to support the podcast, we have a couple of affiliate links down in the show notes. You can click on those, and anything that you purchase from either of those links will help support the podcast. And if you don't want to do that, we also have a donation section, Cash App or PayPal. You can make a small donation, and in the text box, if you would like, you can put a would you rather question, and Luke and I will explore that in a future episode.
Yeah. Anything helps. We support this podcast all out of pocket. So if you want us to continue doing this podcast, other donations will help support the show.
Absolutely. And if you've had an encounter and would like to come on the show, please reach out to us on the contact page of our website, and Luke and I will review that and get back to you.
Ready for the would you rather question?
I am so ready for this would you rather question.
Would you rather spend a night alone in a haunting mansion where you can hear whispers and see shadows, or camping in a remote forest known for frequent UFO sightings and unexplained lights?
Unexplained what?
Lights.
Oh. Hmm. I'm gonna have to say probably the UFO. I'm gonna have to go looking for the UFO, depending on where it's at. Please tell me it's at East Eddy Ranch.
It's just a remote forest.
Oh, it's a remote forest. Ooh, I might get lost. Am I by myself or can I take a friend?
Um, it doesn't really say.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take a friend, and you're going to go with me. So
Okay.
we're gonna go to the remote forest and look for UFOs, strange lights, and possibly Bigfoot.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun. I feel like it would be kind of scary though.
I think I would have to go with the second one too. I've witnessed a lot of paranormal stuff in my life, so I kind of want to see a UFO.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I haven't witnessed enough of either. Well, actually, I've never witnessed anything UFO related or Bigfoot related. Well, that I can confirm. You know what I mean? But I'm still on the fence about both of them. I haven't had a solid encounter with either that I'm like, yeah, that's out there. I mean, I believe it's out there. It's just, I don't know. I'm just on the fence about it.
You want to see it for yourself to believe.
That's it. I'm a skeptical believer.
Well, they say there's believers and there's knowers. You believe it,
Okay.
then if you see it, you know that's the real thing.
That's true. That's true. I would say that then. I'm a believer. I believe it's out there, but until I witness it myself, I can't say for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But I don't have anything else to add except for make sure everybody goes and likes the video, shares it, comments, and subscribes to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, another thing we can mention is again, we're excited we hit 1.5K followers on Facebook, which that's an awesome milestone for us. Let's continue to make that Facebook grow. And let's
Absolutely.
make all socials grow. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram.
Yep.
Let's make them all grow.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll see you next time on another episode of Exploring the Unknown.
See ya.